The Wild Robot came out this weekend, so I was having a lot of conversations around kids. So whenever I was talking about my old ass, I had to be like, my old butt.
Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
Hello, welcome back to another Hard Review. I am here to talk about My Old Ass. This is the new Aubrey Plaza coming-of-age comedy. A young woman who's about to go off to college goes on a fun little island excursion with her two best friends, and they take shrooms for the first time, it seems. And when that happens, our main girl envisions her 40-year-old self, like she's 39. It's Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza is her older version of herself. They have conversations. And Aubrey Plaza can like help her and push her in the right direction on certain things, but other times it's like, no, it's got to happen just the way that it is. And that's kind of one of the more annoying things about this movie is that they really try to tackle the concept of like, oh, well, if I tell you something, then you won't do it, or the mechanics of basically time travel at that point. You don't want to get bogged down in all that. Like, this movie needed desperately a scene like in Looper where Bruce Willis at a diner table just looks at you, grabs your hands, and goes, it doesn't matter. Just vibe with the concept. And speaking of the concept, I feel like that's one of my least favorite things about the movie too. So if you went to go see this movie, it probably was because you wanted to see an Aubrey Plaza movie, because she's this big, awesome celebrity. Her face on a poster can put butts in seats. Not a crazy amount, but she's got a good, decent following. For this movie to just kind of cut her out like 20 minutes in and then bring her back at the very end was kind of a disappointment. I think it's really irresponsible marketing because she shows up like 5 minutes in. They have this big long like conversation, and then it's like a couple phone calls / texts, and then for most of the middle chunk of the movie and most of the end of the movie too, we are without Aubrey Plaza. And obviously she comes back at the end and has a nice scene, a great scene, might I add. But if you went to this movie for Aubrey Plaza, you're going to be like, what the heck? You know, like the trailer shows every single Aubrey Plaza scene as well. So if you've seen the trailer, then it's like, well, then what am I doing here? Now that didn't stop me from enjoying this movie because I still had a really great time because all the other characters that we were focusing on instead I found really interesting and compelling. Our main girl I thought was really fun, full of personality. She actually talked like she was a young person, and I should know. The one thing that I didn't like about her story is she has a relationship with this girl that's kind of in her hometown. I guess she like runs a store, like she works at a store or whatever. We just kind of let that storyline drop like out of nowhere. Like it's kind of inferred that like that relationship isn't really going anywhere. It doesn't really have a future. When she stops pursuing that goal and starts pursuing a different goal, a similar goal, then it's like, well, you know, I feel like we should wrap up that other goal because this new goal directly conflicts with that old goal. So why don't we do that? The movie's like 80 something minutes. So I understand, like, it's one of the rare scenarios where I'm like, give me another 20 to 30 minutes. I feel like you can get away with an hour 50 on this one. A lot of it is just hanging out. You know, she's hanging out with her brother, she's hanging out with her parents, she's hanging out with her friends, she's hanging out with whoever. And I really liked everyone, and I thought that things could have been a little bit more fleshed out, and I would have really enjoyed that. So that's a really good sign when a movie leaves you being like, well, we could have gotten 20 more minutes of this. Because it's not detrimental that we didn't like wrap up that storyline. I'm just saying that we could have spent more time here. And this movie's very funny. It's very heartfelt. I really like all the performances. I really like the personality this movie has. It's really cute. It's got good romance in it, and I couldn't really be too much happier with it. I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5. I really liked it. I recommend this movie. Please go catch it in a theater. You're probably not going to be able to because it's not going to be out for very long because it's not making any money. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Like, comment, subscribe. Why don't you guys tell me what you would ask your 39-year-old self? I'd be like, how many World Series have the Mets won?